Dr. Lacey Abraham will be taking the keynote lecture as a light. So I request everyone to get into this seminar hall. The session will begin soon.
A dazzling dawn marks the inception of a ravishing day. Fresh minds and sharpened thoughts serve as the best platform for an ideal listener. Let's tune our thoughts and focus our minds to kickstart today's events with a very wonderful session by a very eminent personality. Good morning, Manandal. We are assembled here on the occasion of 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section and National Seminar on Emerging Technological Trends in the Era of AI, hosted by Federal Institute of Science and Technology, FISAT. Let's commence the event with a very vital segment, the keynote address by Dr. Lacey Abraham, Principal Investigator, FISAT, Women Engineered Satellite, India's first satellite payload by a woman-only institute led by an all-woman team. FISAT served as a payload for PSLV C-58, India's 60th PSLV mission. Dr. Lacey is working as an assistant professor and PG Dean in LBS Institute of Technology for Women, Pujapura, Trivandrum, Kerala, the first and only engineering college for women in the government sector in the state of Kerala. She completed her postdoctoral fellowship in wireless sensor networks from Tintall National Institute, University College Cork, Ireland. The research was on contextual interface to IoT, which is a European Union funded project. The main objective of the project is to develop and deliver an embedded sensing system using a novel lensless smart sensor developed by Rambus Inc., USA. She is actively involved in a range of outreach activities and proposals related to the field of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and wireless sensor networks. As a research collaborator of Southeast Technological University, Ireland, currently she is mentoring PhD students in Edge Artificial Intelligence. She is also a research supervisor under APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, KTU, guiding PhD students in emerging research areas. She holds a PhD in Electronics and Communication Engineering with a specialization in signal processing from the University of Kerala. She is the founder and director of LIS Intelligent Solutions Private Limited, Trivandrum, which is a startup for developing intelligent embedded products and providing software services. She was a member of KTU Curriculum Committee and a member of KTU Audit Team. She conducts internships and training programs for both college and school students in programming, embedded system design, Internet of Things.
Will be able to run these artificial intelligence based algorithms in these kind of small devices. that is called as Industrial IoT, which is named as IIoT. So we started from the journey, Industry 4 Revolution, from IoT, and now it is kind of IIoT, which can incorporate Edge AI. And we can also do this hybrid cloud edge model, which is called as split computing. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this split computing. Split computing is like part of the algorithm will be run on the cloud and part on these tiny edge devices, which is called as hybrid cloud edge model. And that is another another hot research topic. Because of the limitations of time, and all these are, I think, mostly faculty members, that is what I heard, not the students. So I am just saying the hint so that you can search later, because many of you are planning to explore in research, further research areas, and to explore in these hot topics, and to kind of planning to develop your own research centers in your own institutions. That is why I am just touching the main points. So this is one kind of edge device which is called as Jetson Nano. There are lot of Jetson boards available, developed by NVIDIA, who is the master of artificial intelligence and master of developing these kind of boards. So we can't say these are completely edge device, because these kind of boards have tiny GPUs in this, not like probably you all are familiar with the Raspberry Pi boards. So Raspberry Pi boards don't have a inbuilt GPU, but these kind of Jetson Nano boards have inbuilt GPU. But for a beginner, you can try with these Jetson boards, and then can do the same algorithms in Raspberry Pi boards, and then again to the tiny microcontrollers. So the best application of applying edge artificial intelligence is self-driving cars. So you can see that an actual self-driving car has like hundreds of or thousands of sensors everywhere to get data from everywhere, and these AI-based algorithms using these kind of edge devices or inside the sensors itself, or these sensors is basically to sense. So whether there is a vehicle coming or what is the weather condition, thousands of sensors will be there, and even an imaging camera can be called as a sensor. All these sensors will acquire this real-time information while driving, and then these sensors will be in small boards which has a microcontroller, and these data will be sent to this microcontroller, and then the algorithms, these AI-based prediction algorithms. So here we need quick predictions based on the traffic congestions and all. We need quick predictions. So these AI-based algorithms inbuilt in these or uploaded in these kind of tiny microcontrollers will take quick decision. So you see how these kind of self-driving cars are working. Every second millions of data has to be processed. First of all, millions of data has to be acquired, and then in real time itself these millions of data has to be processed. Then only this quick decisions can be taken. So self-driving car is the best example of applying edge AI or applying artificial intelligence based algorithms in tiny boards and to make quick decisions in real time. Okay, I am just skipping this part. So basically, this is kind of like we will develop a model that, and for this developing a model, I know most of you are familiarized with the artificial intelligence based algorithms. So developing a model is kind of easy. You will get lot of resources from GitHub by simple Google search, and say if it is an image processing application or face recognition application, you can easily develop a model, a face recognition model using AI-based algorithms. You can use a simple convolutional neural network algorithm, CNN algorithms, which is very common. And then, but okay, that will work. So this model will work easily in your GPU machine, in your computer, or in my laptop having an inbuilt GPU. It will easily work. But if you use that same code and upload into the Jetson Nano device, in this Jetson Nano device, it will show a resource exhaustion error. That means the resource, there is no resource to process this bulky AI-based algorithm. So what you have to do is you need to optimize. There are various pruning, quantization techniques to optimize these algorithms, and then only after optimizing these algorithms you will be able to deploy or upload your AI-based model to these tiny edge-based boards. Okay. So now moving to skipping those heavy algorithms and all, I will just familiarize some use cases and wind up the session. And this is one kind of application where I am working, where I have research collaboration with the Irish University. Here we are developing predictive maintenance and condition monitoring algorithms, so that we will be able to implement in these kind of boards. This is ST Microelectronics IIoT board. So these IIoT boards will collect all kind of data from the pilot plant. This we have applied in dairy processing plant in Ireland, and this will collect all the data, and we will use another edge device to process the data collected using this IIoT board, and then we will use some AI-based algorithms. And then, so one of the use cases that we have done is rotary valve monitoring. So there in that dairy processing plant, rotary valve is changed every year without checking its condition, whether it is working well or not. So we have implemented these kind of boards in the plant. So these kind of boards have been fit on these rotary valves, and the output has been visualized using a Bluetooth app. And then we have used some AI-based algorithms to detect anomalies, and so that instead of annually removing the rotary valve without checking whether it is working well or not, we can use these kind of AI-based analysis to spot the anomalies, and if you spot the anomalies only, change the valve. So that is the application we have done. And then the next application is collaborative robots or cobots. So cobot is
in October
very much
2018,
used nowadays
Robotics, the developer
mechanical
behind
manufacturing companies
collaborative
like
robot,
car
Cobot,
manufacturing and all.
unexpectedly closed its doors after a deal to acquire the company fell through. The move came as a shock to many, as Rethink had about 10 years of promising developments in industrial automation. It came as a shock to me because I once declared the future of collaborative robots had a name, and it was Sawyer. I mean, to which I received a
So
lot.
particularly these
Back in 2016, IAN's David Manti
These collaborative robots are used to mainly for these kind of pick and place operations, to automate the entire mechanical manufacturing process. So mainly collaborative robots are kind of robotic arms. Here we used this for like milk shaking and these kind of pick and place operations inside this dairy processing plant. Here we have used this kind of very tiny board. This is Silicon Labs Thunderbolt Sense 2 board, which is very tiny board, which doesn't have a GPU or any processing unit, very small microcontroller. So we have used tiny machine learning algorithms and some pruning and quantization technique to compress the algorithm and to upload these algorithms in this tiny device, and it worked well, and we got 100% accuracy using this tiny board. And this is another application, biomass estimation using compressed AI models on edge device. I am not going to the details of this. Anyway, what I want to convey is these image processing or video processing application, real-time video and image processing applications, we are dealing with 2D and 3D data, not like sensor data, which is 1D, but still we are able to process these kind of bulky AI algorithms real time in these kind of small edge boards. This one, like this herbage monitoring tool for estimating dry herbage mass and composition estimation. This is not prediction. These algorithms are even bulkier, like estimation algorithms, and even we are able to implement these kind of estimation algorithms in this tiny edge device, and we placed these algorithms, these boards in drone, so that drone will fly over the farm and it will provide the real-time information to the farmers. And then moving to split computing, again just note the term. So as I said earlier, like part of the application, part of the algorithm will be processed on the edge and part will be on the cloud. Okay, this is a gesture recognition algorithm that I have done as part of my postdoctoral fellowship application, and using this algorithm by fitting that device which has tiny sensors, I will be able to paint on air, like it is kind of painting application. This was my PhD student that time, and you can see that by with the device that we have developed by using the fitted on his hand, by just moving the hand, he will be able to paint on the screen. So this is kind of edge AI algorithm that we have developed, and we can even erase the what we have painted. By moving the hand in another direction, see, he is able to erase the screen. So the Sunspring is a film made by AI. That is what I said. In future, if you are a very good AI engineer, you will even get Oscar award for the film directed by you. So in conclusion, if optimized, edge devices perform nearly equal to system GPU, and this is how we are proceeding from industry 4 to industry 5. That is, we have to develop sustainable AI solutions. For that, we will gather data, build AI-based models, and we will train these models in heavy GPU machines, and then optimize these algorithms so that we will be able to run these on drones and mobile phones, and we will deploy these on this, and then we will, like, explainable AI is another hot topic. We will explain, like nowadays lot of AI algorithms are developed, but ultimately this has to be applied by common people, and they don't know what is AI or anything. For example, our prediction algorithm is saying from this particular farm we are getting 350 kilogram biomass, but how to explain? So that is kind of explainable AI, which is another hot topic. So these are kind of publications that my research team has published, which has like 3 papers are based on edge computing and one is on split computing, which we got the opportunity to present in one of the global conference, premier conference of IEEE, which is GlobeCom. With that, I am concluding. Thank you. Okay, sorry. If you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to ask. I know the time is very limited. I hope you got some idea of Edge AI. At least you got some terms, technical terms, so that you can explore later. And if you have any further doubts while researching through these Edge AI and all, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation without hesitation and for being here to enlighten our participants. I am confident that your expertise will enrich their understanding of artificial intelligence for edge devices. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for the informative session. Next session will start at 11 o'clock. There is an announcement. Arc Info Solution, a company who's working on advanced 3D printers and 3D printed models, have put a stall near to the registration desk. Anybody is interested can check on it. Thank you.
Honorable Vice Chancellor has arrived. So function will commence at 11 a.m. So I request everyone to kindly come to the seminar hall so that we can, there won't be any delay in starting of the program. So kindly everyone assemble in the seminar hall so that there won't be any delay in the commencement of program, which is scheduled to begin at 11 a.m. Thank you. The dignitaries have arrived. The function is about to begin. I request everyone to move forward and occupy the front rows. The function is about to begin soon. Genesis of a new era, an era of innovative technology and competing inventions, is the dream of every engineer. Let's accelerate our efforts to realize the same with a very wonderful event. Good morning, one and all. Federal Institute of Science and Technology, FISAT, is extremely honored to host the 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section and National Seminar on Emerging Technological Trends in the Era of AI. On behalf of FISAT, I express my extreme happiness in hosting this magnificent event in collaboration with ISTE, the Indian Society for Technical Education. Let's embark on the inaugural function by invoking the blessings of Lord Almighty. I invite Dr. Kirti G. Nair for the prayer song. Kindly stand for the prayer song.
നന്മയാകുന്ന കാന്തി കാണുവാൻ കണ്ണിനാകേണമേ നല്ല വാക്കിൻ്റെ ശീലു ചൊല്ലുവാൻ നാവിനാകേണമേ സ്നേഹമാകുന്ന ഗീതമോ എൻ്റെ കാതിനിണയാകണേ സത്യമെന്നുള്ള ശീലമോടെ ഞാൻ ശാന്തി അറിയണമേ ശാന്തി അറിയണമേ.
Thank you, Kirti. Please be seated. I now invite Dr. Jacob Thomas V., Principal, FISAT, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
President of this meeting, Dr. Vijay Kumar K., ISTE Kerala Section President. Chief guest of the day, Professor Sajid Gopinath, Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. Dr. Mr. Shimit P.R., Chairman FISAT. Professor E.C. Ramakrishnan, Secretary cum Treasurer of ISTE Kerala Section. Dr. Sunil Kumar, ISTE National Executive. Dr. Mini P.R., Vice Principal of FISAT. Dr. Unik Karsa, Dean Academics FISAT. Dr. Asha Joseph, Secretary cum Treasurer of ISTE FISAT Chapter. A warm good morning to each and everybody. A warm and a hearty welcome to the 34th National Faculty Convention of Indian Society of Technical Education, Kerala Section, and National Seminar on Emerging Trend in the Era of AI, hosted by Federal Institute of Science and Technology, FISAT. It's an absolute honor and privilege to have each one of you gathered here today for this momentous occasion. Indian Society for Technical Education, ISTE, is a national professional non-profit making society, first started in 1941 as the Association of Principals of Technical Institutions, and later it was converted to Indian Society for Technical Education in 1968, with a view to enlarge its activities to advance the cause of technical education. ISTE Kerala section is one of the most vibrant and active ISTE sections in India, with over 7,000 technical teachers as active members and around 140 institutional membership, around 90 faculty chapters and around 80 students chapters. The day-to-day activities of ISTE Kerala section is managed by a 6-member managing committee and presently headed by Dr. Vijay Kumar K as its chairman and Professor E.C. Ramakrishnan as the secretary cum treasurer. I take this opportunity to give heartfelt tribute the founding leaders of ISTE Kerala sections, whose visionary contribution laid the foundation for the excellence of technical education in Kerala. I am also extend our gratitude to the eminent professors and teachers of engineering and polytechnic colleges in Kerala, whose tireless efforts have shaped countless minds. Their legacy and wisdom continue to resonate, inspiring the ongoing pursuit of knowledge and innovations in our technical institutions. The teaching learning process in technical institute is facing a lot of challenges these days. It's a dynamic and a multifaceted endeavor that aims to equip the students with knowledge, skills, and competencies required for success in the chosen field. The evolution of teaching learning process in technical institute has undergone significant transformation over the years. There are several factors which actually contributed for this evolution, shaping this challenge, changing the needs of students and industries. I find these are the key aspects that highlight the evolution of teaching learning process in technical institute. Traditional lectures to interactive teaching, integration of technology, interdisciplinary approach, globalization of education, emphasis on soft skills. In a sense, the evolution of teaching and learning in technical institutions reflects a dynamic and an adaptive approach that aligns the education with the needs of the contemporary world. Now let me come to my assigned duty of welcoming you all. We are honored to commence our program with the esteemed presence of ISTE Kerala Section President, Dr. Vijay Kumar K, who will deliver the presidential address. Dr. Vijay Kumar K, former DT, is a distinguished visionary leader who has dedicated his career to the betterment of education in our state. Under his esteemed guidance, the ISTE has played a pivotal role in shaping the education landscapes in our state. Sir, we are deeply grateful for your presence today, and we look forward for your valuable insights and blessings. Once again, we extend a warm and enthusiastic welcome to our ISTE President, Dr. Vijay Kumar, to this meeting. The 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE will be inaugurated by none other than Professor Sajid Gopinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University as well as Digital University of Kerala. Dr. Sajid Gopinath is the first Vice Chancellor of the newly formed Kerala University, Digital University Kerala, and holding the additional charge as the Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. He was a CEO of Kerala Startup Mission, and during his tenure as the CEO, he set up around 20 mini labs in engineering colleges, including one at FISAT. He worked as the director of Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, Kerala, and also associated with IIM over 17 years as its dean and professor. Dr. Sajid Gopinath is a visionary leader in the field of education and technology. His relentless commitment to the advancing technology education and research has not only elevated the standards of our education institute, but also helped and shaped the future countless students. His leadership has not only strengthened the academic landscape, but also contributed significantly for the development of our society and nation as a whole. We look forward for his valuable words and wisdom and encouragement. Once again, please join me in extending a warm and enthusiastic welcome to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sajid. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. We also witness most exciting and a profound keynote address by our distinguished expert, Dr. Lizzie Abraham, whose expertise promised to enlighten the latest development in space technology and women empowerment. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Lizzie Abraham to this ISTE convention. A special moment awaits us with Mr. Sumit P.R., the chairman of FISAT, who will deliver the special address and release of our souvenir. Mr. Sumit's unwavering commitment to the Institute has been instrumental for its growth, and we are really honored to have him share his thoughts with us. Once again, we extend a warm welcome to our chairman, Mr. Sumit P.R., to this ISTE convention. We are equally delighted to welcome the National Executive Member of ISTE Kerala section of ISTE, Dr. C.P. Sunil Kumar, and our Dean Academics, Dr. Uni Kata, for the felicitation address. I welcome both of you to this function. I also welcome the ISTE Secretary cum Treasurer, Professor E.C. Ramakrishnan, to this function, sir. I also welcome other office bearers of ISTE Kerala sections, Dr. B. Anil, Professor Jayagumari, Dr. Sijit, Professor Ashogan, Professor Biju, Mr. Shamsuddin sir, Dr. Nidhi, Sri Sube, and others. I welcome all the managing committee members of ISTE to this function. Some of our managing committee members of FISAT is presently here. I extend a warm welcome to this particular function. Last but not least, I welcome Dr. Mini Pia, the Vice Principal of FISAT and Organizing Committee Chairperson of this ISTE meeting, as well as Dr. Asha Joseph and Mr. Binoy Abraham for their tireless efforts and dedication ensure the smooth execution of this convention. We appreciate the invaluable contribution for this meeting. I extend a warm welcome to our faculty members and other participants for this function. As we gather here, let us also express our sincere gratitude to all the dignitaries, speakers, participants who make this event possible. Your enthusiasm and commitment for the advancing technical education are truly commendable. I am confident that this convention will be a forum for insightful discussion, knowledge exchange, and meaningful networking. Let us make most of this opportunity to collectively shape the future of technical education in Kerala. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those warm words of welcome, and we invite you to this function too. We welcome you, sir. So now, I request Dr. Mini Pia, Vice Principal, FISAT, and Chairman of ISTE FISAT Chapter, to give a briefing about the convention to the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Dr. Sajeev Gopinath, all dignitaries on and off the dais, the delegates and colleagues, a warm good morning to all of you present here. As we are already aware, This 34th annual convention of ISTE Kerala section, annual faculty convention of the ISTE Kerala section is being hosted by our institution, Federal Institute of Science and Technology. It's a matter of great privilege to us and we are really honored to have all of you here today. The major objective of ISTE is to provide quality training programs to teachers and administrators of technical institutions and update their knowledge and skills in their fields of activity and to assist and contribute in the production and development of top quality professional engineers and technicians required by the industry and other organizations. And I am sure this annual faculty convention will give all of us an opportunity for meaningful interaction between the faculty members from various technological institutions across the state. We are happy to inform you that this 34th annual faculty convention and the national seminar on emerging technological trends in the era of AI has 225 registered participants from 27 institutions across the state of Kerala. 145 of them are external participants and we have 80 participants from FISAT attending the program today. In line with the major objective of ISTE, we are having a national seminar on the emerging technological trends in the era of AI. And we have already kick-started this event with a wonderful session by Dr. Lizzie Abraham on the topic Artificial Intelligence for Edge Devices. As many of you would probably have been aware, Madam is the principal investigator in the FISAT project and she is also a renowned researcher. So we are very lucky to have her here and we had a very wonderful session today morning, just concluded some time back. Now, as part of this inauguration function, the ISTE awards will be presented to the winners in the various categories also. Then we also have paper presentations related to the theme, Emerging Technological Trends in the Era of AI. This is to encourage faculty members for their career development through the advantages that they get through the presentation of papers. We have 17 papers shortlisted for presentation from around 40 numbers that we received, and the paper presentations will be conducted after the lunch and in parallel sessions in 4 different venues in our institution. And lastly, we will be winding up this convention with the annual general body meeting of the ISTE members, which is scheduled from in the afternoon from 2:15 to 3 p.m. We thank you on behalf of FISAT for your invaluable presence here, and we also thank all the members from ISTE and our institution who have guided us to ensure that this day becomes a reality. I hope you all will have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Dr. K. Vijayakumar, Chairman, ISTE Kerala Section and Director of Technical Education, Government of Kerala. He did his doctoral degree from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. He was a principal and joint director of Government Engineering College, Thrissur. He is a member of various professional bodies and academic bodies and has numerous national and international publications to his credit. It's my honor to welcome you, sir, for the presidential address.
Good morning. Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Saji Gopinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Chairman FISAT, Mr. Shimit Pia, and other distinguished guests on and of the dais, respected National Council members, SMC members, and my dear participants and dear teachers. At the outset, I am extremely happy to be here during the 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala section, and it's a great honor that the FISAT has taken the responsibility to organize this faculty convention and organize a one-day seminar on emerging trends in AI. Already the principal as well as the vice principal has mentioned about the role of ISTE in the technical education scenario and the role of teachers through the ISTE chapters. few words about the ISTE Kerala section. The Kerala section has already having about 90 institutional members and 84 faculty chapters, and we have almost all the colleges have the student chapters also. So through the faculty chapter and the student chapter, the section is organizing various programs and extends financial support, maybe a limited financial support, which is received from the grant in aid from the government of Kerala through the budget provision. And the various chapters organizes FDP programs, small workshops, so that the faculty gets opportunity to get trained in various emerging topics. Through the student chapters, we organize academic competitions like quiz competition, skill competition, etc., so that they get an opportunity to showcase their talents, as well as the chapters organize various training programs which helps them to transform their personalities, so that after completion of the 3 to 4 years in the campus, they will become a fully socially committed engineer to meet the requirements of the society. This is a brief about the ISTE Kerala section. Today, we are indeed lucky to have the Honorable Vice Chancellor to speak about the emerging topic, that is emerging trends in AI, as well as to inaugurate the 34th Faculty Convention. Along with the convention, we are organizing a national seminar on the emerging trends of AI, and we are fortunate to have one of the young entrepreneur as well as the academician who spoke about the latest developments, Dr. Lisi. And she is now the most distinguished lady because she had the honor of grouping a group of students in the recently sent FISAT program. As you know, the artificial intelligence is now in all spheres of activities, including academics as well as health or social or any economic activity, etc. So how best we have to tap this source and how best we can utilize this for the benefit of the society. This is what is being or to be discussed in the academic circle, so that the students as well as the faculty gets an opportunity to know what is happening in the technological area and how best we will be able to coordinate the various activities through the presentation which is held in parallel sessions, the technical paper presentation in the 4 parallel sections. So this will help the faculty members to know what is happening there, and they will get an opportunity to interact with the latest developments which is being researched in this area through the presentation of the resource persons or academicians or research scholars, and they can build a network of professors who are working in the same area, which will help them to improve their knowledge, so that ultimately it gets reflected in the classrooms, so that the student community is benefited. The FISAT has taken or has chosen one of the best as well as the emerging topic to be discussed recently, so that they give an opportunity to the faculty members to present their papers, so that they will also get recognized by the society. So I am very happy to say that the FISAT has organized the convention in an excellent manner, and using this opportunity to thank the management as well as the principal and the team and their team, including the coordinators of ISTE chapters, for the excellent arrangements made, and I hope that the participant will have a very beautiful day as well as fruitful day while attending the conference as well as enjoying the one day here, and wish you all the best, and thanking you once again for attending in large numbers, because for the last 2 to 3 years the representation was very poor, and the chapter here and the office bearers here has taken earnest effort to see that more and more registrations are there, and they succeeded in getting at least 225 registrations for the convention, which is a grand success and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your warm words. Dr. Saji Gopinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. He is the first Vice Chancellor of newly formed Kerala University of Digital Sciences, Innovation and Technology. Before assuming this position in 2000, he served as Chief Executive Officer of Kerala Startup Mission for 3 years. He worked as the Director of Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, Kerala. He was associated with the Indian Institute of Management for over 17 years as its Dean Academics and Development and Professor in Operation Management. He was also the Director of TAPME, Manipal, and the founding Dean of Bennett University, set up by Times of India. He also serves as visiting faculty to a few universities in Europe and Australia. A gold medalist in mechanical engineering from Kerala University, he did his post-graduation and PhD in management studies from Indian Institute of Science. He worked with L&T and ONGC before shifting to academics. Under his leadership, Kerala Startup Mission has been consistently ranked as top performer ecosystem in the country of Government of India and as world #1 public business accelerator by the World Incubation Summit in 2019. He is also instrumental in converting IIT MK into a University of Digital Sciences, Innovation and Technology, focusing on addressing the research and talent issues of Industry 4.0. He has several research papers in reputed journals and consults leading corporation and national organization. He was also the recipient of several awards from national and international bodies, British Council Technology Economic Fellowship, TIE Ecosystem Enabler Award, ISTE Transformation Guru Award, Educational Leadership Award, KMA Technology Leadership Award, CMA Management Leadership Award, and Future Kerala Best CEO Award are some. It is my privilege to welcome you, sir, for the inauguration of 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section and National Seminar on Emerging Technology Trends in the Era of AI, hosted by Federal Institute of Science and Technology, FISAT, by lighting the lamp, and for the inaugural address.
Good morning. Respected President of the function, Dr. Vijay Kumar K, Chairman of ISTE Kerala section. Shri Shimit PR, Chairman FISAT. Dr. Jacob Thomas, Principal FISAT. Keynote speaker, the pride of Kerala, Dr. Lizzie Abraham, who has literally proved that sky is not the limit if you really keep your ambitions high and work towards that. Other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, honorable members of ISTE Kerala section, national committee members, the respected members of Managing Council of FISAT, and colleagues in profession, the teachers of various engineering colleges. At the outset, let me thank ISTE Kerala section for inviting me to be a part of the 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala section, and also the National Seminar on Emerging Technological Trend in the Era of AI. I think as technology teachers, we are at a time where, like Professor Jacob Thomas rightly pointed out, we are at a crossroads. At one end, we are the ones who are actually helping people to develop technologies, creating minds who can actually go ahead and push the frontiers of technology. At the other end, the same thing is actually disrupting our own work in a big way. So at this inflection point, it's actually important for us to come together and understand what is the type of changes which is happening around the world, in the country, and we need to actually perhaps reinvent ourselves in the days to come. I'm happy that you have a large number of participants here, but I'm also little sort of disappointed that when Dr. Mini mentioned that only 27 institutions from Kerala is actually participating, which is actually which is a little sad because I don't know. It's generally it's not needed to say to the people who are already converted. I'm sure that all of you coming here are already motivated people, but those people in the teaching fraternity who are not motivated, it's important for them to understand what is happening in the technical education or education in general and start relooking it. So I always used to say that we need to travel back and maybe to 90s. Some of us with grey hairs actually started our careers at that point of time in early 90s. Now India before 90s and India after 90s, there's a big change. India before 90s, I'm speaking in the business side. If you look at the business and industry before 90s were actually being kept under large number of regulations, large number of rules and things like that. And during the 90s to 92, 93 period, India has actually liberalized quite a bit. Lot of regulations got changed. Now, whether that is good or bad is a different question, but what we need to look at is, look at those companies and industries who were there in 88, 80s and where are they now? You have organizations like Federal Bank, for example, who has actually gone multi times after that liberalization happened. You have companies like government companies like CDAC, for example, which has actually gone really, really big on that. But we can also see a large number of organizations. In Ernakulam itself, if you think about FISAT or HMD or many of them actually completely vanished. They are already become, and you can actually go to Ambalamugala and see what is happening there now, right? So you are primarily seeing that when a change happens, if you are not adapting to the change, it actually wipes you off. Why am I saying this is because exactly the same situation is happening in education today. If you look at the education system of the country is very similar to industry system of the country, especially those senior members here knows that we are being regulated left and right and center. We cannot do anything with the type of rules AICT, UGC and so many regulatory bodies are actually putting on us. Even if you are at universities to add to that. So the point is these regulations are actually now getting completely liberated. For the first time in the country, we actually start speaking about the student's freedom, a student's capability to actually excel himself or herself. We never used to do that. We have introduced systems like choice-based credit system and all, but the choice always was with the faculty. It was never with the students per se. So we are actually moving to a world where the student can actually take courses from one institution, carry it to another institution, and can actually pursue things which we believe are completely indifferent. So for example, a student who is studying in FISAT may do Sanskrit from Sanskrit University next door in a and earn the degree in maybe combination of this. So this change, unfortunately, we are still not fathomed. Exactly like a large number of industries who did not fathom that at the time of the liberalization of the country. And my worry is that if we don't really move very fast, we will actually become extinct very soon. And that is the reason why the technical education teachers have to be really worried about it. The societies like ISTE, seminars and training programs becomes much more significant in this context. The whole country's education system is actually going through a large level of transformation in the years to come. And this years to come is not 30 years or 40 years down the line. It may be 3 years or 5 years down the line. It's already happening in other parts of the country, and it's already happening even in Kerala itself. Even at KTU, we are actually looking at coming out with a curriculum, which in the next curriculum, which may happen in this year, with some of the major changes, which I'm sure that will be very different from what we are used to. So in this sort of a world where things are changing, I think as teaching fraternity, it's high time for us to relook at what we are doing. Are we actually doing enough research to make ourselves relevant? Are we actually really looking at the type of training where knowledge and skills cannot be now separate, it has to come integrated together? Are we really doing that? So such questions, I'm sure that these sort of forums have to ask, and I'm sure that each of you will be thinking about that. And I'm very happy that we have a large number of teachers here from various institutions, and there will be some discussions around that happening. But let's come back to the specific theme which we are speaking about in this conference per se, which is the emerging technological trends in the era of AI. Now, why are I speaking about the era of AI? So, I studied AI when I was doing my master's in Indian Institute of Science. In fact, even before that at CET in 80s. We had a course, we did a course on Lisp, and we did a course on Prolog, which was actually done at that point of time, not by the formal education, but through the IEEE as such. So what I mean to say is that AI is nothing new. AI was there maybe from 60s onwards. In fact, before that, people were actually having, which people were speaking about science fictions where machines are going to take over and things like that. And we used to say that 80s and 90s is the winter of AI, because before that, the expert systems actually came into existence, and then the development of AI was slow, and again from 2000 onwards, AI came back when the computational power actually became a big way. But why are we speaking that it is on an era of AI per se? Even something which all of us are familiar and we started using called ChatGPT, where the GP models are generative AI is not new. Generative AI itself is around 30 years old. So the difference is that today AI has become generic. It was in the past, AI was actually focusing only on specific applications. Any technology, when it applies only to specific applications, be it computer technology, let's assume this. When computers came, it was actually solving one problem or two problems, like computing problems or maybe weather problems or things like that. It's primarily used for computing. Most of us did not use that computers at that point of time. Maybe in education institutions we do it to a limited extent, but public did not even bother about it. People started adopting computers when computers become a generic technology. It actually started doing everything, including computing. It actually helps us to communicate, it helps us to send mails, it helps us to do entertainment. It multi-purpose. The moment it became, you actually started adopting a technology very fast. Now AI has actually reached that point where the AI of today is actually not used only for one purpose. The studies shows that almost 80% of the world or 95% of the people who uses a smartphone uses AI in some extent or other. So which is a very large number. We may not be completely cognizant of this fact, but we are already using that. So the AI is there to come and stay, and it's going to make inroads, and all of us, especially researchers who are working in the AI field, know that it is still in a very early stage of infancy. There's quite a bit of development has to be done. Most of the algorithms we use today are actually not very computationally very efficient. They actually consume a lot of power, a lot of water, and a lot of other resources per se. So there's a lot of changes have to be done, a lot of research has to be done on that, which I'm sure that the technical section will be discussing on that. But I'm more interested in the word era of AI. We don't say era of a technology unless the technology makes significant changes per se. So era makes, you consider something as an era when there is a substantive change from what was happening in the past. And when we are looking at the technology trends, when we go into the technological research and going into the micro levels, it is important for us to keep fact of the macro level changes which is happening because of the AI per se. What is this change which is happening? We all know that most of the development in the world across history has happened always linked with the technology. So we call it as industrial revolutions. I'm sure that you must have heard this 100 times. When every talk people will speak about industry 4.0, industry 3.4, etc. But let me, even with that I'm repeating it because just to get across a particular point. We know that when industry 1.0, which is primarily the electricity and textile industry, etc., actually make a big change from the conventional home-based industries and the technologies which is primarily addressing at a very small format. So if I'm a handicraft person, I can only make very small quantity. The moment it has gone to mechanization, you actually started making in a very large quantity per se. Now from that, we move to the next level, which is primarily what we call as industry 2.0 or the industrial revolution in general, where the automobile industry, the mobility industry, the mechanical engineering become the king. So you suddenly see that a large number of changes are happening. People can move from one place to another place very fast. In the past, you cannot do it because you are only depending on natural forces of movement, which is primarily the wind. That's basically where the shipping used to happen. But from that, we suddenly start to say that internal combustion engines, jet engines, turbo engines, these actually help us to move from one place to another very fast. How did it change? Because of this, you suddenly started creating very large industrial cities. You started creating mass format productions and start reflecting that in every field, including our classrooms. From small classrooms which Gurukulas used to enjoy, where the students know what Guru knows the need of every student, we actually move to classrooms which we ourselves teach, where a class of 60, we don't know how each of the learning path of the student is very difficult for us to map. So we may focus on 10 or 15 students, others will actually do the standard stuff as such, which actually made the education quite a bit of a question mark also. Even though access, affordability and equity increased, the quality and merit actually suffered when we moved from a small format to a mass format as such. The third industrial revolution actually started looking at miniaturization. And the miniaturization happened through the electronics, through the computers, and that revolution actually made first steps into decentralization. Now when I'm moving to the era of AI, which we are speaking about, it's a host of technologies which are coming along with that, primarily driven by the data at multiple levels, and the data processing capabilities, and other technologies like robotics or biotechnology, or many of those combined together we call as Industry 4.0. We are actually moving completely away from what we call as the oil economy or the industrial economy per se. So whatever we have seen as industrial economy, which all of us are familiar with, we have been taught, we teach, we research on most of the areas of industrial economy. But what world is moving is from an industrial economy or an oil economy to what we call as a data economy. And when we move from this to this, there is a substantive change. There is a philosophical change. And that philosophical change is the reason why we call it as an era of AI. Because that shift is something which we should be cognizant about. We look at some of the products which has actually made big difference for us in the recent past. A common thing which comes to our mind is WhatsApp, which I'm sure that all of us here may be using it. Ask this question, who made WhatsApp? WhatsApp was never made by a large company with a huge amount of resources. It was made by a very small company, right? A startup. 90% of the product which we see has disrupted our life, changed our living habits, are not coming from large organizations. They all came from very small organizations. They all use decentralized technology because mass production economy, while it made everything affordable and easy, it also created huge amount of problems. We know that the climate change which has happened, we know about the greenhouse gases which has come out. We know about the huge amount of wastage which has created. All these are actually the bane today we need to worry about. So this lead to 3 or 4 major trends which in literature we call as mega trends. So the mega trends which is going to define the era of AI or era of new technology is, some of them I'll basically look at. One is that we are moving to a knowledge economy where there is going to be the hard product is actually getting replaced by the knowledge, and the conventional factors of production, that is the land, labor, capital, etc., are getting replaced by talent, innovation, and the resources. So this is primarily where it is happening. And this also lead to what we call a singularity, where convergence of multiple technologies are happening. Many of you know here that the last year, not this year, the last year, the Nobel Prize for Biology has actually gone to a digital solution, right? The CRISPR, which is primarily a gene editing tool. So you are primarily start looking at technology getting into inroads into something which we conventionally believe they are different. We believe that somebody who is doing biology can never do AI, because that is not. AI is a domain of technology person, which is not necessarily anymore, where the convergence of physical, digital, and biological world is actually happening. The singularity of technology, singularity of man and machine is actually happening in a big way. This already happened. In fact, ideally, the academic world should have led this, but in reality, the industry world is leading and the academic world is following, which is also a challenge which we need to start looking at. Why don't academic world lead the change and the industry follows us? That's a question that's a larger question we need to discuss at some point of time. The second and the most important trend is that the concept of the climate resilience and the disaster which is in front of us. And that actually leads to three or four major points, and this actually translates into technological development research. We speak about decarbonization, we speak about decentralization, we speak about digital, and we speak about democratization. All these 4 words are becoming very important. Decarbonization is no more a choice. We have to do it. We have to actually start looking at how do we reduce the emission from the greenhouse gas emission at multiple levels, which means we need to go back to frugal research. How do we actually create products which can actually use a very, very limited amount of resources? Some of you know that when you are using a ChatGPT, the amount of power and water it consumes is actually more than what consumes in the context of making a car or making a satellite. So that is a type of wastage which is happening in today's world. So there is a research needed in that context. But more importantly, we also speak about decentralization. We need to think about small format technology. This is an area which unfortunately we are not doing enough. We are happy to look at mass production technologies. We are happy to look at large technologies. Think about any field, agriculture for example. We look at how do I create productivity improvement in hectares of land? How do I increase the productivity of one plant? How do I actually use technology to make farming from a mass farming to a precision farming? This is a question we need to ask. Unfortunately, this is actually left to the agriculture universities and agriculture professionals, where this is actually a domain of technology professionals who have to work with the agriculturists to see that how we can use all these technologies together. And this decentralization, where you are moving from a world where everything is centralized, everything is actually mass, to something of a small format, where you are actually trying to get efficiency in the small format, is the challenge which we have. Any field of engineering if you take, mechanical, electrical, civil, all of them we speak only about mass. But we know that the industry and the people actually move from the other end. Think about power, for example. Conventionally, when we think about power, we think about a power plant and a large format thing, and we teach that. But many of us know that we now produce power on the rooftop of ours. We have actually decentralized to some extent. Whether it has gone completely replacing the large power plants, the answer is no, but it may. So we need to actually start looking at the newer things like hydrogen economy and things where you are actually moving from a large format to a small format. The third is primarily what very different again is something called democratization. And this is something which we need to actually teach our students. Why? We need to ask this question, how did many of the things which we are currently using came free to us? While in the maybe 100 years back, or more, forget about 100 years back, 10 or 15 years back, if you want anything new, you had to pay like anything. The technology was not affordable to us. Why did somebody ChatGPT give you free of cost? But earlier models of AI was very costly. The reason is the entire model of development has changed. We have moved from a world where competition was driving, we are moving to a world where collaboration is happening. We are actually moved from a world where people keep proprietary standards to a world where we are actually keeping open standards and making public to work on that. Most of the technologies which we use, a common technology which all of us use is GPay, which basically drive on something called a public digital infrastructure called UPI. Now UPI is not developed by a government agency. UPI is actually driven by a government agency through what we call as a crowdsourcing model, where individual engineers across this in the country actually helped NPCI to develop that particular protocol per se, which actually helped us to make payments even in the smallest village of the country as such. CoWIN, another classic example. If CoWIN was developed by the philosophies which we taught our students, CoWIN would have never come into existence, because it again came through this concept of decentralization and working and such. Hundreds of lives were saved in 2018 in Kerala during the floods, because the students from various colleges, many of the colleges which you people are teaching, came together in a virtual mode, sat days together to track people using the technology, again in a decentralized and a collaborative manner. So now ask this question, do we actually recommend, do you promote the students to be collaborative, or we make students to be competitive? The unfortunate thing is we many times make students to be competitive, because in an industrial world, the only way you can survive is by beating another guy. In the digital world, the only way you can survive is to be with another guy. That change in the philosophy is something which we need to understand, and we may have to actually look at it. The third is we also move into what we call as the hyper-connected world, where which is linked with what I mentioned earlier. With mobiles and with the easy connectivity, you are actually seeing that people actually can work across the globe. In fact, 2018 I was actually part of that, and I found that people were working from Auckland to San Diego to save people in Kerala. Most of them are Kerala students, because across the time zones you are primarily able to work and actually start, you can do that, because it is a very, very hyper-connected world and we have platforms to work on that. Now this shift from oil economy, which was focusing on centralization, to decentralization, also lead to other challenges. The challenges that we need to create talent to address this. In the era of AI, which I always used to compare with the era of automobiles, when automobile came, it definitely has disrupted a large number of existing jobs. Primarily, people were actually using animal-powered vehicles like bullock carts or horse carts, or people who are actually pulling their own hand-pulled rickshaws and things like that. The automobile has replaced. But the automobile has not just replaced them, it actually gave a huge amount of efficiency for them. The same is going to happen in the AI world. In the AI, and we also know that when automobile came, it is not only automobile industry which developed, the steel industry developed, the oil industry developed. The oil industry led to pharmaceuticals industries development. It led to many other chemical industries development. It led to textile industry development. So lot of allied industry development happened along with that. So exactly like how an automobile actually came and made changes to us, which we are all familiar with, think about a world where AI is coming and changing. So you will see that a large number of AI uses are going to happen. Now we need to teach our students not to use ChatGPT, but to use ChatGPT how efficiently, how effectively. True, when a student is only using a ChatGPT, our classes become redundant, because they can actually get most of the answers from that. But can we actually teach them how to tame AI? That's exactly what we do when an automobile came, right? When automobile came, we actually taught them how to make the automobile to get large number of new use cases. This is something which we need to start looking at, how we use this technology to solve many of the unresolved problems. And for that, they need not have to know any of the technology portion of the AI per se. A person who is actually using any of the automobile technologies for his benefit. Say for example, a person who is riding a car for carrying an item from one place to another place has no knowledge what is known as an auto cycle or what is an adiabatic process, right? But they can comfortably use that. Same way, a person is who can actually tame AI and use, need not only know what is a TensorFlow or what is a SVP or something like that. We don't need. So you don't need to actually go into the mathematics or the details of that for the applications. But having said that, the automobile industry also brought in something called the job of a drivers. So who actually know how to use this as a vocation. AI also will bring that, which we call as RPA engineers, right? The robotic process automation engineers who will primarily use AI to automate a large number of processes. Many of the routine tasks which we use today can completely be replaced by the AI. And that requires people with that type of skills. We need to train that. And the automobile industry also brought in people who know how to make automobiles. Not to design, but to make the automobiles. We also need AI engineers who know how to make AI and also to optimize it and to make it as affordable and as efficient as possible as it. We also need people who will actually design cars in an automobile world. We also need people who design AI solutions and the AI architecture which goes into the deeper. And we also need people who will go into the thermodynamic processes, do fundamental research on that and come out with better and better solutions for that. And same way in AI also we require people who go into the depth and start looking at that. I'm sure that most of these aspects are going to be discussed in the afternoon session where we will be actually looking at quite a bit of depth of that. And let me close by saying that while this world also is giving you a lot of interesting opportunities, it also is posing a lot of threats, exactly like the earlier world. When the industrial world grows up, when machinery came in, and suddenly people find that they can actually multiply their physical driver multiple times through a machine. See, I can till maybe a cent of land or a 10 cent of a land using manual machines, manual plows in a day. I can use a machine and do hectares in a day. The moment that happened, people actually started using this in indiscreet manner. They started using it left, right, and center. Same is happening with AI. Today, suddenly I can say that I can actually make an AI to write tons of novels or stories and poems and books for me. So I started doing that. Without knowing that, this actually led to exactly what automobile industry did. Because of the unlimited uses of that, you consume a lot of resources, you also created a lot of pollution. Same way, we are also doing the same thing when we are using AI in an unlimited manner. It consumes resources, which actually deplete resources, but more importantly, it also creates what we call as data pollution. Multiple ways of data pollution. It could be a confirmatory bias, it could be the echo chambers, it could be erroneous data, it could be many of those aspects which generally we speak in the data pollution also happening. And we need to actually teach our students about this. We need to sensitize the students about it. A student who has a knife in his hand, which is a technology incidentally, is taught by his or her parents and the teachers that it should be used only for a positive purpose. You be a surgeon, use a knife to save life. You be a farmer, use it to cut the weeds. But if you don't teach that, they will cut a lot of people's heads and we call it as criminals. Same is the case with AI. If you don't teach them how to use the AI, they will actually use AI indiscriminately. You will see deep fakes, you will see so many other things which is happening. So as teachers, our role is now becoming a very different role. So far what we were doing is, we were actually doing teaching from our books. So I used to say that if you look at the teaching profession over the years, it is always meeting an asymmetry. In the past, there was a data asymmetry. The guru has the data, the shishya did not have the data. So guru used to teach the data to the shishya. But after some time, data become easily available. Library is king. So student also can go to the library, teacher also can go to the library. So teacher actually moved to the next level where they started giving knowledge. They know how to interpret the data and give. The student may not be knowing about it. So the textbook of a student reads the textbook, teacher reads the textbook, teacher reads between the lines, student know how to read between the lines. That knowledge was given. Then came the third level. You actually now AI systems and other things which actually started your own social media and other things actually started giving that portion also. So from data asymmetry to information asymmetry, the third level was knowledge asymmetry, which is what most of us are in today, right? Where the information is available to the students, data is available to our learners, but they don't know, they actually don't have the knowledge per se. And that knowledge which we were giving it, because we know how to assimilate from multiple places and give to them. Unfortunately, the AI is actually going to replace that. It exactly do that. It actually assimilate from multiple data sources and give the knowledge. So the knowledge asymmetry, which actually made our existence relevant, is actually going. So the only way we can survive is we need to the next layer, which is called the wisdom layer. And the wisdom layer is where, in fact, Professor Achyut Shankar gave a very nice example of wisdom layer. He says that if I Google and find, tell me 10 ways of doing a suicide, it will give me the 10 ways of doing suicide. If I ask ChatGPT, how do I do suicide in 10 ways, it says that my ethics does not allow you to answer this. If a student comes and asks you this question, what will you do? We will call his parents, right? Or we will ask what is the background of that. That is the difference of a human being and a machine as of now. And that is basically wisdom comes. And we need to actually transcend ourselves from the level of data to information to the knowledge to the wisdom level. And that is the challenge in front of us. And unfortunately, the technology is coming so fast and developing so fast, we read maybe 10 books in a year. ChatGPT can read 10 books in maybe an hour. So you can see the type of growth it can actually happen. So we need to really run fast and move more and more into the higher levels of knowledge and wisdom. I'm sure that the sessions today will actually help you to go into that. And once again, thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. And I'm very happy to formally inaugurate this annual 34th annual faculty convention of ISTE and the National Seminar on Emerging Technological Trends. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful message and also for being here. Besides your hectic schedule, your presence made this event more delightful.
As a token of honor and gratitude, I request Chairman of FISAT, Mr. Shimit Piyar, to hand over memento to the Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Saji Gobinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Thank you, sir. I now request Shimit sir to deliver memento to honor the keynote speaker of the event, Dr. Lizzie Abraham, Principal Investigator, FISAT, Woman Engineered Satellite, India's first satellite payload by a woman-only institute. So please honor ma'am with a memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We now welcome Mr. Shimit Piyar, Chairman FISAT, for the special address and release of the souvenir. Sir, please.
President of the 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE, Dr. Vijay Marke, Chairman, ISTE Kerala Section. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Saji Gobinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Dr. Lizzie Abraham, Principal Investigator, Women Empowered Satellite, FISAT. Professor E.C. Ramakrishnan, Secretary Cum Treasurer, ISTE Kerala Section. Dr. Sunil CP, ISTE National Executive Council Member. Other dignitaries on the dais, and my dear participants. We are extremely happy to host this 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section at FISAT. And very glad to know that this is the maximum number of participants in the last 5 years, as mentioned by our Dr. Vijay sir. I really appreciate the team behind this for making or touching this maximum number of 245. I remember in the first few early days of this discussion to conduct this convention at FISAT, they came to me and told a number of 50. That was their maximum possibility. Then I told them, then if it is 50, there will not be any financial support from the management. That was the motivation behind them. And immediately they were started the working, and it crossed in such a way that it reached 225, and it was beyond their control. At a point, it was nearing to 300, and they stopped the registration 2 days back. Anyway, I would like to congratulate the team, Dr. Asha Joseph, Dr. Binoy Abraham, Dr. Mini PR, Vice Principal, and Principal Dr. Jacob V. Thomas for making it a grand success. And the second part, the icing on the cake, is that the best chapter award, can I? Okay. I think it was announced earlier, okay, yes. Best chapter award for this Kerala section ISTE is awarded to FISAT. That's another achievement. So that gives more responsibility in the coming year. We have started with 245, then there are miles to go. And I'm sure that our team will come forward to accept any challenges. And a few words about FISAT, only because of this team that I mentioned. The FISAT is entering into 23rd year of excellence. Started in 2002 with a motto, focus on excellence and vision committed to society. And you know, this is a college run by a trade union, not the Federal Bank, but a Federal Bank Officers Association, the managed by the people, or majority of our members or people are thinking that this is owned by Federal Bank. It is not like that. It is owned by Federal Bank Officers Association. And I am working in Federal Bank. I am the General Secretary of that trade union, and we have our managing committee members sitting here. They are the founders of this college. So that is the beauty. One side we are trade union, and one side we are management. Okay, anyway, thank you for coming here. Even though there is vote of thanks is pending, it is officially, it will come. On the side, from the management side, I would like to thank each and everyone for coming here and give your feedback before you leave the FISAT. Okay, thank you very much.
Now we request our dear chairman, Mr. Shimit Pia, to release the souvenir of the event. Sir, please. Sir will be releasing the souvenir, and he'll be handing it over to the chief guest of the day, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Saji Gopinath. Thank you, sir.
Professor E.Z. Ramakrishnan, Secretary cum Treasurer, ISTE Kerala Science and retired Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Thrissur. He did his Masters from IIT Madras and has got 27 years of service in Government Engineering College, Thrissur. It is my honor to welcome you, sir, for the award ceremony.
Good morning to all. First of all, I am congratulating all the institutional and individual awardees on behalf of Kerala, IST Kerala section. First one, Best Faculty Chapter Award 2022-23, Federal Institute of Science and Technology, Angamali, Ernakulam.
And now request Principal Dr. Jacob Thomas, Vice Principal Dr. Mini PR, Chairman IST FISAT Chapter, Dr. Asha Joseph, Secretary and Treasurer IST FISAT, and Binoy Abraham, Organizing Secretary of the event, to kindly receive the award on behalf of FISAT. I request Chief Guest of the Day, Honorable Vice Chancellor, to give away the award to the Best Faculty Chapter. Let's express our happiness with a loud round of applause. Congratulate the winners.
Next, Best Faculty Chapter Award for Polytechnic Chapter Award, JIDT Islam Polytechnic College, Vellimadukunnu, Kozhikode.
I request the representatives from the institute to receive the award from the chief guest. Congratulations to the winners.
Next, Best Polytechnic College Teacher Award 2022-23, Srimati Ruxana TP, JDT Islam Polytechnic College, Vellimadukunnu, Kozhikode.
Request Roxana ma'am to hand over the award, receive the award. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
And last one, Special Appreciation Award for successfully hosting the 33rd Annual Faculty Convention of IST Kerala Section, Malabar Polytechnic Campus, Cherpulasheri, Palakkad.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Saji sir. Thank you, Ramakrishnan sir.
Moving on to the next segment. Professor Dr. C.P. Sunil Kumar, IST National Executive Council member and the former Dean, Professor and Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Thrissur, has 35 years of experience in academics and industry. He did his Masters from IIT Madras, MBA from Annamalai University and doctoral degree from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. He is honored as Fellow of the Institution of Engineers, India. He has published papers in many international journals and has been the resource person for various FDPs, STTPs, etc. It's our privilege to welcome you, sir, for the felicitation.
Good morning, one and all. Respected President of the function, Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, Chairman of ISTE Kerala section, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Saji Gobinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Chairman of FISAT, Shri P.R. Shimit, and other dignitaries, honor of the dais, delegates of the 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section and National Seminar, and ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to mention 3 personalities who are present here, who are worth mentioning as far as our engineering fraternity is concerned. We are very happy to have Dr. B. Anil, who has been selected for the fellowship this year of the ISTE. So, welcome you, sir. And the Best Teacher National Award, that is National Award for the Best Engineering College Teacher from our state, that is Professor V.K.M. John Award. Winner, Dr. A.K. Mubarak. He is from Government Engineering College Thrissur. He is going to receive in the forthcoming National Convention at Karaburgi. Then another personality is our engineer V. Thomas John. He is the chairman of the Institute of Engineers India Thrissur Local Center. He is also present here to honor our function, and all other senior dignitaries also. So obviously, first and foremost, I would thank the management, principal, and the coordinators of this 34th National Convention for organizing this event in a cherishable way. As it has been rightly mentioned by the chairman of FISAT, it is the top, as far as the strength of the participation is concerned, it is the highest in the last 5 years. That is a great achievement from the part. I congratulate all the coordinators also. And moreover, I congratulate all the winners of the various awards offered by the ISTE Kerala section. We know, see, the topic of the day is AI and all. ChatGPT, most of the people have talked about the AI and ChatGPT. But of course, when we talk about the emerging trends in education technology, we have to make use of mobile learning and digital content platforms, AI-powered learning environments particularly, augmented reality and virtual reality, gamification of learning, automated assessments, and adaptive learning. Obviously, specifically focusing on the theme of the convention as it demands, AI-powered learning environments gives a lot of benefits. Of course, our chief guest has mentioned about the other side of the coin also, like how we should be beware of the data pollution and the asymmetry in information as well as knowledge, and we have to adapt to the wisdom layer as such. Of course, we utilize technologies like facial recognition. When you go for the AI-powered technologies, facial recognition, natural language processing, machine learning to make learning easier and more engaging. So that is one thing. We know that the ability to leverage AI tools will be a crucial competence for future engineers in all disciplines, irrespective of the discipline, enabling them to drive high quality innovation, sustainability, and productivity in their work. So educating our students, of course it requires transformation. We have to move along with the day. Intellectual challenges are must for enabling deeper learning. It's on this context, AI plays effective role for the customized learning as well as content generation support to them. Every institution, including FISAT, has to focus on skill building initiative and bridging the skill gap of the graduating students to ensure the employability of the students. Of course, to enable the engineering graduates to possess the skills to make them employable, finishing school idea for fresh engineers was conceptualized by, as you know, probably most of us know about it, Reskill India and IPQC consulting services. You can also make use of the association with them. Now we have AI platforms for getting instant feedback and creating personalized practice problems. Of course, the other side is already mentioned by the guys, because the thinking process of the students should not be left apart. So, which in turn, it will help the students to improve their skills. Somebody has mentioned about ChatGPT as an example. In lesson planning for teachers, gamification, automated assessment, AI can also help the teachers. Traditionally, engineering education emphasizes on activities like problem solving, laboratory work, assignments, and projects. Now, there is a focus on OBE, that is the outcome-based education. We have been discussing on that for quite a long time. Most of the engineering also discussing on OBE quite a long time. And inductive training methods like project-based learning. We have large language models in engineering education. Hence, large language model based generative AI platforms like ChatGPT and Bing Chat can be of great help for engineers as well as engineering students. Unlike ChatGPT, Bing Chat also leverages web search and cites sources. Students, of course, can use these platforms to search, consolidate, organize, and reorganize ideas and facts. They can promote creativity by exposing students to diverse ideas, perspectives, and counter arguments on a given issue, and can help generate ideas. Of course, coming back to our teachers, the teachers can use them to serve in the roles of teaching assistant, administrative assistant, creative partner, external evaluator, peer reviewer for internal quality assurance. We got IQAC and all in the college. Domain specific advisor to enrich and conceptualize the course content. So, of course, faculty can use these platforms to generate examples, analogies, questions, and interconnections between different topics within and across courses for the enrichment of their own institution. At the same time, effective use of AI in education requires a total transformation in learning outcomes, pedagogy, and assessment methods, as well as addressing some well-known AI challenges, example, bias, discrimination, privacy, security, ethics, and course. So how ISTE can play a role in this? That may be the part we have to focus on at the end. So of course, as it has been mentioned by a few of the previous speakers, at present we have about 2,740 institution members. We have got a network. So of course, out of which only 144 institutional members are in Kerala section. So what we can do is we have got we can make use of the faculty chapters as well as the students chapters to get the connectivity. So we have got a lot of learning platforms and network of teachers. So if the interaction with the teachers who have got vast experience in the field of what we have mentioned right now, like AI powered tools or whatever modern technologies in technical education is there in other institutions and other deemed universities, we can make use of them. We can make use of them through this professional body. Of course, the problem with the professional body is we have got a humpty number of professional bodies like IEEE and all. So most of the teachers are not aware how ISTE is going to benefit them. So what we can assure you is, ISTE Kerala section can assure you is, of course, we may be guiding the students. Maybe not only you are acquiring PhD, after acquiring PhD, you may be PhD guides and all in the institutions, for which you may require some assistance from other institutions, including the resource pooling as well as the faculty pooling, especially for if you go for the examiners. Definitely this system may help you. So what so we had to go through the headquarters website. So if you are adhering to the teaching profession, if you're an academician, definitely you have to make use of such professional bodies. Please go through the headquarters website. I'm not going into detail. So if you will find out whatever benefits you can go for, individually as well as for the institutional point of view. So within the deadline, if you apply for it and get the association of the ISTE, these sort of headquarters, there's various programs and projects offered by them. And particularly they have got association with not only the Department of Science and Technology, ISTE and the government bodies, and even they have got association with some private agencies and all. So definitely we can also help you how to get the polling, so how we can get the things done. Especially if you apply, probably you may not get it directly, probably we may require some support from the section also. So definitely as a team we can work forward. Let the team work makes our dream work. That's only we can assure you. So I'm not going in detail because most of you are aware of what is going on around, what IST can offer you and how the institution is to be run with a vision in front. That all these things you know. So let us work as a team. That's the only assurance we can give you on the part of the IST. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are much obliged for your valuable words. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Unikartaji, Dean Academics, FISAT, for the felicitation.
A warm good afternoon to one and all here. Most Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Saji Gopinath, and all the other dignitaries on the stage and off the stage. I'm really happy and honored to be here on this occasion to share my felicitations. First, I'll probably start with a couple of things. The first thing I'd like to say is we are really honored to receive this award for the Best Faculty Award. So it's a great moment for FISAT, and we'll definitely try to make sure that the chapter works towards the benefit of IST. So I would like to place that sincere thanks from my end for considering the campus and honoring us with this award. So it means a lot for FISAT from our end. So that's fact. And the second thing is we are really honored to have the Vice Chancellor here among us for this occasion. And his speech was really inspiring. We have listened to him many a times, and it was really eye-opener. So every word he says adds a lot of value. It makes us think. The only thing is he was speaking so fast that we are not able to gather everything together. So that's the only thing. So he was speaking so fast and put in so many ideas. I think we'll have to go back and sit and think for some time to understand what he was trying to get it. So it was really thought-provoking and made me really think when I was sitting there. So thank you so much, sir, for that. I'm sure the formal thanks will come to you. So it was really inspiring to listen to you every time, whenever you have in our campus. Thank you so much. And all the other dignitaries, IST, they have really helped us to make sure that the program comes out really successful. I was really happy to listen to all these good things that were talked about, the organizing, the people who have run behind to make sure that the event goes really well. So I'm sure I will go back today, and FISAT will cherish this day forever as one of the best events that we have tried to organize. So we are honored, and thank you so much for this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Asha Joseph, Secretary cum Treasurer, ISTE FISAT Chapter, to propose vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Saji Gopinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Dr. Vijay Kumar, Chairman, IST Kerala Section and President of the function, respected dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty members from various engineering and polytechnic colleges, and my dear colleagues. Today, with immense gratitude, I stand before you as we conclude the inaugural session of 34th Annual Faculty Convention of ISTE Kerala Section, proudly hosted by Federal Institute of Science and Technology. This remarkable gathering would have been possible without the support and collaboration of many esteemed individuals. At the outset, let me express profound gratitude to each one of you who has contributed to the success of this remarkable event. Now, without further ado, let me fulfill my duty. I would like to place on record our sincere gratitude towards Dr. Saji Gopinath, whose role as Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University and gracious acceptance of our invitation to inaugurate the convention elevated the event to new heights. Your insightful contribution and visionary leadership and the enlightening message today have inspired all present here, leaving a permanent mark on the academic community. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to convey our gratitude towards ISTE Kerala section and its chairman, Dr. Vijay Kumar K, for placing their trust in FISAT to host this program. I thank Dr. Vijay Kumar for giving directions for meticulous planning of the event. The recognition received through the Best Chapter Award serves as a testament to the dedication and excellence of our institute. Thank you, sir. Next, I thank Dr. Lizzie Abraham. Your expertise as the principal investigator of FISAT enriched the convention with a thought-provoking keynote lecture. Your commitment to advancing knowledge and innovation has been a guiding force throughout the proceedings. Thank you, ma'am. Further, I extend my heartfelt gratitude towards Mr. Shimit Pia. Your role as Chairman FISAT and your timely updates have played a vital role in the success of this convention. We are thankful to FISAT management for expressing interest in hosting the program, adding glory to FISAT and making this event a grand success. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Jacob Thomas, Principal FISAT, for his invaluable guidance, consistent and frequent monitoring, detailed instructions, and unwavering support in the successful conduct of the event. Thank you, sir. A sincere acknowledgement to the National and State Management Committee members of ISTE who provided valuable guidance for the successful execution of the state-level program. Heartfelt thanks to Professor A.C. Ramakrishnan, Secretary cum Treasurer of ISTE Kerala section, for his gracious role in distributing the awards, Dr. Sunil Kumar for his esteemed felicitation, and to Jaykumari ma'am, whose frequent follow-ups and felicitations are deeply appreciated and have significantly contributed to the success of the event. Thank you all. Our gratitude extends to ISTE Executive Secretary Delhi for the financial support rendered to us. I would like to thank FISAT Management Committee members, Mr. Janit Kachapilli, Rajavarma sir, Rajanarayanan sir, Papachan sir, Abdul Nasser sir, for your gracious presence today. A round of applause for Dr. C. Sheila, Director FISAT, Dr. Unikata Ji, Dean FISAT, who collaborated seamlessly to make this event a success. Special mention to our PRO, Mr. Shindo, whose efforts significantly contributed to the event's visibility. Next, I wish to express a sincere gratitude to all participants who graced this occasion with your presence and for taking the pain to reach here, without whom the realization of this event would not have been possible. We also extend our appreciation to all the individuals who has contributed to technical purpose to the convention. The generous contribution from our sponsors have not only provided financial backing, but made our souvenir a colorful one. Let us not forget the forces behind the scene, administrative officer and heads of various departments. Your unwavering support and invaluable contributions made this event a successful one. A word of appreciation to the multimedia team, sound and light crew, and the housemaster caterers for enhancing the overall experience of the convention. Last but not the least, it is our organizing team. The team was led by Dr. Mini Pia as the organizing chairman of the convention. I sincerely thank Dr. Mini Pia, Vice Principal of FISAT, for her excellent leadership and adaptness in organizing, overseeing and steering our event towards success. The organizing secretary, Mr. Binay Abraham, executive committee members of ISTE FISAT chapter, together with very faculty members and administrative staff who offered their support. Thank you all for your dedication, hard work and commitment for making this convention a resounding success. In closing, this event has been truly a collaborative event, and we are grateful for each one of you who played a role in its success. Let us continue working together towards future milestones. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all of you to kindly rise for national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttara Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladhi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thus, we have come to the end of the formal inaugural session of the event. There's a few announcements to make. Food is arranged in the auditorium. You kindly have the lunch after this. And also, gifts are arranged for all the participants on the event, and kindly collect the gift from the registration desk. It will be available in the registration desk from 1 p.m. onwards. And also one more important announcement. A stall on advanced 3D printers and 3D printed models set up by Arc Info Solutions is open near the registration desk. So those who are interested in the same, kindly go and visit the stall. Moreover, annual general body meeting of ISTE will be held at 2:15 p.m. in the same venue. So have a nice day. We wish you all a nice day ahead. We're coming to the end of the formal inaugural session, and together we
Dr. Kirtiji Nair, Assistant Professor, Department of Science and Humanities.
Elsa George, Assistant Professor, Department of EC, are signing off.
Signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.